During the early 1900s, there was a flowering bloom of new art in America. African American culture introduced a new form of improvised music called jazz. Jazz first emerged in New Orleans and eventually spread outward toward Chicago and New York, becoming America's most popular music. People love jazz, the rhythm, the chaos, the disorganization, the dance, and the unique sounds of the instruments. Jazz brought a unique style to America, an emergent style of sound that would soon contribute to many of today's musicians, but most importantly, it brought meaning to today's culture. What does jazz mean to you?
Jazz is very meaningful to me because of its complexity and improvisation. Those are the two most meaningful things to me.
Jazz means there's not words, it's just, it's like, yeah, jazz.
Oh, everyone's gonna hear this.
Okay.
Jazz basically means like a revolution to me. Like I feel like they took something out of completely nothing. They took something and they created their totally own style. And yeah, you can totally reference the influences that they had, but I think it's just complete 100% inspiration. They communicated who they were and what they were at that specific time. And I love jazz. I think it's beautiful.
The improvisational character of jazz was often associated with its social lifestyle. It was a form of art making itself up, just like the country that gave it birth. Jazz has a rich tradition, rooted by the blues, which was often linked to morals, stories, and how life existed during that time. Today's music is a never-ending spectrum of sounds. Many might agree that music today has lost its authenticity, and performers not musicians have lost touch of value in today's music. What do you think makes jazz different from today's modern music?
Mainly, I think a lot of it is different because jazz is good. And comes from the heart and is layered and is about something. I hear a lot of mainstream music these days that I'm not really sure what it's about.
It's different because it doesn't suck like teenage music, and it takes talent and skill. There's a lot of things going into it. The brass, everything about jazz is 100 times better.
What you shush over there. Well, a lot of music that's popular today is it's the opposite of how jazz seems to me. It's very calculated. Every word, every chord is designed to grab the listener, make them listen more. There's nothing wrong with that. But jazz can be difficult, and jazz can be painful, like life is painful, and life can be difficult. But a lot of modern pop music is very, it's like it's trying to program you to feel a certain way.
It is important to understand the history of jazz and how it came to be. The sounds of jazz represent a history of slave workers, spiritual songs, and field hollers. Once slaves were free, they were able to spread their African heritage of rhythm and improvisation. But still, New Orleans was a very difficult place for any man or woman with African American blood to prosper. During the early 1900s, jazz was influenced by African Americans. Jazz was considered a traditional Black associated genre. Do you think race plays a role in today's popular music genres?
In ways, yes, but maybe in ways not as much anymore. You have all different races playing all different kinds of music. Maybe it doesn't matter as much as it used to,
Well, I mean, blacks, they basically invented the blues and things like that. So of course there's a lot of musicians that are really great are really influenced by that. But I don't think if just because a person's a certain race, I don't think that makes a difference anymore.
I think back then it did, but I know for me personally, I don't care what the person's race is. If they're sounding amazing and if they're communicating on a level that I can understand, I adore it. And I listen me.